Yusufu carefully opened the lid and put inside a little bowl of grain, a little bowl of water, so the bird had something to eat and drink, and he closed the lid firmly. Now he felt relief, for he could go and tend to the coffee fields, knowing that Fatima would be clearing the grass from the other fields, and all would be well. The next day, Yusufu was about to go to work, when he said to his 4 children, "Children, do not forget, leave the basket alone. Do not open it under any circumstances." "Yes, father. Yes, father. Yes, father. Yes, father," they replied. And off went Yusufu to the coffee fields, and off went Fatima to the grass fields. Each went about their work happily.
This is Wizard Grandpa's Stories.
Oh, there you are. How nice to see you. Welcome to Wizard Grandpa's Stories. Now, today I'm going to tell you a story which is called Why the Grass Wouldn't Stop Growing. So, once upon a time, a long time ago, in Africa, there lived a family. The father was called Yusufu, and the mother was called Fatima, and they had 4 children. Every day, Yusufu would go out to the coffee fields and care for the coffee plants that grew there. And every day, Fatima would go out to the other fields and clean away all the grass. Their children stayed at home and kept the house clean and prepared the food for their mother and father. Now, one day, when Yusufu had finished his work in the coffee fields, he decided to go home through the fields where Fatima had been working to see if she had cleared all the grass away. He went through those fields and saw long grass everywhere. So when he got home, he said to Fatima, "Wife, what have you been doing in the fields all day? I thought you were clearing the grass, but it's as long can be." "Well, I did clear the grass, husband," said she. "I don't know what has happened." So he took her back to the fields, and she saw the long grass, and he said, "There you are. You haven't done a stroke of work today." And she said, "But I have. All the grass was cleared when I left here. I don't know where this grass has come from." Said Yusufu. "Well, tomorrow you'd better do a better job." So they went home, and the next day Yusufu went off to the coffee fields, and Fatima went back to the other fields, where she cleared the grass away. And in the evening, when Yusufu had finished, he came back through the fields to see how the grass was. And he was surprised to see the grass was long. Fatima had done nothing all day. He arrived home, and Fatima was there before him. And he said, "What have you been doing, wife? The grass is as long can be. You've done nothing all day." And she said, "Husband, I cleared all the grass. When I left the field, there was no grass there at all." He said, and they went to bed. The next morning, Yusufu said, "Wife, I have an idea. Today I will come with you to the fields and see what happens there and see what you do. So Yusufu went with Fatima to the fields where the grass was growing very long. And together they cleared the grass, they cut it down, and they stacked it up. And the field was as clean can be. Well, said Yusufu to Fatima, that is the way to do it. I know, husband. That's what I've been doing every day. Why don't we just wait a few minutes and see what happens? All right, he said, let's do that. So Yusufu and Fatima waited underneath a tree. And in a few minutes, there was a sound of bird song. It was a beautiful sound. The birds sang very sweetly, high up in the tree above them. And as Yusufu and Fatima listened to the bird, they could hear some words in the bird's song. The bird was singing, and then the words became clear. Grow, grass, grow. Grow, grass, grow. Grow, grass, grow. And just like that, as Yusufu and Fatima watched, the grass began to grow. And it grew and it grew and it grew till it was back to the height it had been that morning. Yusufu and Fatima were amazed. Well, what kind of bird is this? I don't know. I don't know. So they went home to think. The next morning, Yusufu said to Fatima, I have a plan. Let us take a basket full of grain and see what we can see. So they took a basket with them, a basket with a lid, and it was full of grain. And Yusufu carried this, and Fatima went with him out to the fields. And they spent the morning clearing all the grass which had grown up the previous afternoon. And they carried on in the afternoon, clearing all the grass, stacking it all to the side, so the field was clear. Very well, wife, said Yusufu, we have finished our work. Let us wait for the bird. So they sat underneath the tree, resting in the cool of the afternoon, and they heard the sound of the bird. Grow, grass, grow. Grow, grass, grow. Yusufu jumped up. Oh, you bird, what are you doing? The bird stopped singing. The grass hadn't begun to grow. Keep quiet, bird, I have something for you. And Yusufu took out the basket of grain, and he threw the grain onto the ground. Well, the bird saw this, and he swooped down and started gobbling up the grain. Peck, 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 peck. Chew, 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 swallow, swallow, peck, peck, peck. Well, the bird enjoyed that grain, and he ate, and he ate, and he ate, until he was so full he couldn't fly anymore. Then Yusufu took the basket and turned it upside down on top of the bird. He slipped his hand underneath, turned the basket over, and closed the lid. The bird was trapped in the basket. Yusufu was very proud and took the bird home. Fatima was pleased too. They had caught the bird who was making the grass grow. They took the bird home with them and put the basket on the kitchen table. And they said, children, you must not open this basket. Yusufu carefully opened the lid and put inside a little bowl of grain, a little bowl of water, so the bird had something to eat and drink, and he closed the lid firmly. Now he felt relief, for he could go and tend to the coffee fields, knowing that Fatima would be clearing the grass from the other fields, and all would be well. The next day, Yusufu was about to go to work, when he said to his 4 children, Children, Do not forget, leave the basket alone. Do not open it under any circumstances. Yes, Father. Yes, Father. Yes, Father. Yes, Father, they replied. And off went Yosufu to the coffee fields, and off went Fatima to the grass fields. Each went about their work happily. The children remained at home, cooking, cleaning, preparing the meals, and they heard something rustling inside the basket. Shall we open it? No, Father said no. Let's open it and see what's inside. No, Father said we mustn't. Just a quick look. No, we'll get into trouble. Just a very swift, quick little peek. Well, I suppose that wouldn't hurt, would it? No, let's look inside. So the smallest of the children opened the lid to look inside, and out flew the bird, as quick can be. Well, when Yosufu came home, he was furious. And when Fatima came home, she was even more furious. But what could they do? The bird had flown away. The next day, when Fatima went back to her fields, the grass was still short. The bird must have flown somewhere else. Well, said Yosufu, as long as he's not here, that's fine. But I suppose the grass has to grow somehow. Yes, said Fatima. If we kept that bird here in the basket, it might be the grass never grew anywhere anymore. Yosufu thought for a moment. You're right, wife. It's right that we should have let him go. He will make the grass grow for other families and for other creatures. For indeed, the cows need to eat the grass. The sheep need to eat the grass. Many, many animals need the grass. Yes, said Fatima, as long as he doesn't make the grass grow too much in our fields, because that makes me work much too hard. So that is the story of why the grass never stops growing. Because, of course, there is a little bird who flies around the whole world, calling the grass and making it grow. I hope you liked that story. It's one of my favorites. Thank you for watching. Come again and listen to another one of my stories. And if you liked that one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And when you come to Wizard Grandpa's stories, bring all your friends with you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.